Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This is from Box Office Fan. As crazy as it sounds, Jurassic World has dropped from 88 to 39 in one day, getting some pretty bad reviews. Will this hurt the film's longtime box office? With Top Gun out and Lightyear and Minions around the corner, will this film be hurt, or will the film still do well even with the bad reviews?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Box Office Fan. And yeah, so I remember I think we were doing a mailbag, you and I, and somebody wrote in and said, I'm hearing some pretty bad things coming out of Jurassic World Dominion. And I said, well, I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now. It's holding an 88. I mean, there wasn't a ton of reviews in there yet, but I said, let's see what happens once we see the movie, right? Now, I was supposed to go to a Jurassic World screening the other night. Unfortunately, my wife had COVID. She had tested positive. I had tested negative, but I thought, maybe it's not a good idea to go into a theater with like 300 or 400 people. Even if I'm testing negative, I'd been exposed. All right. So I didn't go, right? Turns out I might've saved myself a drive, because we talked about on the show the other day, the initial reactions coming out of that screening, and they were not good. They were not good at all. And yeah, now I've never seen a rating go from 88 to a 38. And here's the thing though, big day. Jurassic World Dominion is now the lowest critically rated film of the entire Jurassic franchise. Well done, guys.
How did we do it?
You gotta go for something right, and you go hard if you're gonna go.
Life finds a way.
Finds a way. Okay, so check this out. If we look at the history here, so Jurassic Park, obviously the gold standard of all the Jurassic films, one of the greatest classic films of all time, 92%. Then we got into The Lost World, which took a serious drop down to 53. Then to Jurassic Park 3, which went down to 49. Then the first Jurassic World was a rebound. Made a ton of money, and it had a 71% critic rating. Not as many people like Jurassic World. What was the name of the second one again? Fallen Kingdom. You know what? I don't care. Named. I did not mind Fallen Kingdom. I had an okay time with it. I did, but only less than half of the people agreed with me because it got a 47%. But now, by far, the lowest critically rated of all the Jurassic World movies, all the Jurassic movies, 38%.
Can I ask you guys something? If there's a restaurant and it was 88%, and then the next day you looked at it, it was 33%, would you eat there?
No.
Yeah.
I've seen that in WeHo, where it's been, this had A, and then you go back and it's a D, and you go, oh, no. I'm not eating this ramen.
That's exactly
can I just tell you
point.
one of the greatest things I've ever seen?
Yes.
So you know how the restaurants are required to put up their what's the name of the grade, but whatever the grade is, like A or B, right? In St. Louis, a restaurant had a D.
Nice.
And they hung it up in the window, but then they put other letters up in the window that spelt out Go Cards and just fit the D into cards. And so they were following the rules. They're exhibiting.
I feel like it'd be so much easier to just clean your restaurant.
You'd think it would be less effort just to break out a broom.
Have some running water in the place.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, okay, so we've got a mess of a movie on our hands. By the way, I say that a little bit tongue in cheek because, again, I haven't seen it yet. I skipped the screening. So for all I know, I'm going to go watch it, and I'm going to be one of the 38% that liked it, maybe. But on the surface, it looks like we've got a bit of a mess here. It's not going to have that big of an impact on its opening weekend because people had already bought their tickets, right? Where this will have an impact is second weekend. Because if the general audience finds itself in unison with the critics here and saying, yeah, this isn't good, then they're, number one, they're not going to go back a second time, which means when they go back a second time, they're not bringing new people with them to see it. And they're not going to tell their friends to go and see it. And actually, the opposite is going to happen. We're going to start getting a warning going out that, save your money, don't go see the Jurassic World. So I'm still expecting to see a big opening weekend. Now, whether big opening weekend means 200 million or whether it means 125 million, I don't know. But I'm expecting a big opening weekend. But it sounds like it's then going to stumble a lot. I'm going to go out on a limb right now. Big risk here, going way out there. Jurassic World Dominion will not be the next billion-dollar film, which it very well could have been. I mean, it was poised to be the first billion-dollar film of 2022. It could have been. The other films have been. And if they had crushed this one out of the park, I would have said, yeah, if the reviews and everything were great, I'd say, yeah, it will. But it doesn't sound like it. Anyway, Rob, lowest critically rated of all the Jurassic films in history. What's your thoughts on this, and how will this affect its overall business success?
You know, I've been reading the reviews, and I've gleaned a little bit about what the movie's about, and it sounds like it's really convoluted. They had one job, John. All they had to do was show dinosaurs all over the world eating people. That's it. That's all we want to see. And we want to see our characters from the first part of the franchise and the later part of the franchise. There they are. We want to see them teaming up and stopping dinosaurs from eating people. That's it. That is this franchise. Talking about genetic engineering and corporate interests and all this other. No, the dinosaurs have been unleashed. They're out in the world. Show us that. You know, they show some of that, like a pterodactyl going after an airplane. That's great. That's all I want to see. Why they have to overcomplicate this process? I mean, the first Jurassic Park does it perfectly. Here's the premise. Here's Richard Attenborough. I've harnessed the power that I shouldn't have harnessed. Ian Malcolm's like, just because you could doesn't mean you should. And then the dinosaurs eat people. And that's your franchise, man. And in this case, the entire planet Earth is a smorgasbord of humans to eat. And that's what I want to see. Just take me around. It'll be like going to like one of those food courts that have multiple countries represented. You just get to eat a little bit Chinese, Italian. That's what I wanted to see. And they have to turn it into some kind of corporate, convoluted. Even look, I cried when I watched this trailer. There's that one shot. Maybe not cried like I cried in Lightyear or Star Trek 2.
Right. You got emotional watching that trailer.
But yeah, I got emotional. And I'm like, there was dinosaurs on the Great Plains with dudes on horsebacks. You know,
riding beside them.
The sun is setting. I mean, this is America now. Dinosaurs and horses. And I was like, that's what I want to see. And so why is it that I'm reading what this plot's about? I mean, they go meet Ian Malcolm and he's giving a speech. Like Jeff Goldblum's giving a speech, and that's how the characters all meet together, because they all went and saw his speech. I'm like, who thought that was a good idea?
I think that's a good idea. I love Malcolm's speeches. I go hear Malcolm's speech.
But if he's going to give a speech, put him out in front of, like, I don't know, at the Vatican with the Pope talking about how God wants dinosaurs back or something like that. I don't know. I mean,
put him in his leather pants, just Burt Reynolds near the
that's
Pope.
That's exactly right. I read what this was about, and look, I'm going to go see it. Because since I was a kid, I love dinosaurs, and I want it to be good. And I'm sure that there's enough dinosaur action that I'll walk out and go, all right. 38%, John. Once again, you know what's great? Now Star Trek is good this week, so I can bitch about something else.
Chris, you're seeing this. Are you surprised? Does it take the wind out of your sails to see it? Where were you before hearing these reviews? What do you think?
I'm slightly surprised. I'm not super surprised. I mean, Jonathan off camera was talking about this too. The last few films haven't been great. So it's just surprising that the one that's supposed to be ending it all, right, is this bad. Like my esteemed colleague here, I'm still going to go see it because there's raptors at the Vatican. And I love that kind of stuff. That's very exciting. I think this is a movie, though, that you go into with a Moonfall mentality, right?
And 4DX.
Yeah. And 4DX. My chair's going to be shaking. I'm going to be running with those raptors. Hopefully some people get eaten. I like when they talk about the genetic stuff, but that's neat to me. But
it's neat to me, too, in the first movie in 1993.
That's fair. That is fair. But I think we just need to go into this film expecting it to just be kind of meh, popping our popcorn if we can get it, and just take it at face value.
Now, the question becomes, will this movie encourage people to seek out the new classic, what is it called again? Oh, yes, the Raptor Pastor?
I hope so.
I mean, yeah, that's the one. If guys, it's a real thing. Look it up.
Yeah. Is it an asylum film?
I think it might be an asylum film or an asylum-like film or something like that.
I will say this, John. I do think this movie is going to do well. I don't necessarily think it's going to gross $1 billion. But in all seriousness, I mean, obviously, this is going to have a monster first weekend. Mm-hmm. Kids still love dinosaurs. What kid isn't going to go see this movie? And kids are a little less discerning than we are. And as long as there's enough dinosaur action in it, I think it'll do respectably well. And I'm sure it'll do well foreign. Although, you know, some of the worst reviews we've heard, even people who've written into this show, have been from places like Brazil or Mexico.
Well, I mean, there are some countries that got it last week, and we heard from some of our audience writing, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen."
To me, like, I'm with Rob. I don't see how you can have dinosaurs in a movie and it not be entertaining. At least, if I'm gonna go back to food. If you make a breakfast burrito, how do you botch a breakfast burrito?
Dude, they had
it's like
5 movies of Transformers.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be making breakfast burritos. Then you know what I mean. It's like, don't use dinosaurs if you can't use them right.
All right, guys. Well, the question is for you. Jurassic World Dominion, it's official, is the lowest critically rated of all the Jurassic franchise. Do you got your tickets already? You probably do. Or you're one of our international friends who you've seen it already. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Whatever they are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those there. Hey guys, we want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of today's video, Upside. You guys remember a while ago, I started using Upside. Upside is an incredible, easy to use app for buying groceries, dining out, or even buying gas. And with every purchase you make at those shops, restaurants, or gas stations, you are earning cash back thanks to Upside. When I started using Upside, I was incredibly impressed with just how easy the app is to use and how easy it is to start accumulating cash that I can deposit directly into my bank account, PayPal, Amazon gift card, many different ways. And like I said, I was incredibly impressed at just how easy and simple and straightforward the process is to start getting cash back now. To get started, just download the free Upside app in the Apple App Store or Google Play. Use my promo code CAMPEA, that's CAMPEA, and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Once you've got the app, just claim an offer for whatever it is you're buying on Upside. Check in at the business, pay as usual with a debit card or a credit card, and get paid. Download the free Upside app and use promo code Campea Show to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using the promo code Campea Show.